Lamar has fired head basketball coach Pat Knight after a 3-22 start to the season. For more on this story, welcome in Andy Katz, senior college basketball writer for ESPN.com. And Andy, first of all, what more can you tell us about the firing of Pat Knight?
Well, I spoke with Pat early on Sunday, and he told me that after last night's loss, he was told to meet with his athletic director and president at 10 a.m. this morning down in Vermont, Texas, and he said that he knew then that he was likely going to get fired, that he wasn't going to be called at 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning to be told he's doing a great job. And basically he said that, they didn't get it done. He took responsibility that their poor record of the last two seasons was the reason. It had some attrition. He was starting over and was not totally surprised they decided to go in a different direction, and that's exactly what they told him.
And, of course, he is the son of Hall of Fame coach Bob Knight. He succeeded his dad at Texas Tech, was relieved of his duties at that job as well. Will he get another head coaching job?
I think it's going to be tough, and in talking to Pat, I don't think he really wants one. After talking to him about what had happened at Texas Tech and Lamar earlier on Sunday, he said, he did what he wanted to do, which was coach a team in the NIT, which he did at Texas Tech, coach a team in the NCAA tournament, which he did actually his first year at Lamar 2.5 years ago, got them to the first four in Dayton where they lost to Vermont. And he said actually he thought he should have walked away after that, even though it was just one season at Lamar, because he felt like he'd accomplished his goal. But he wanted to try to rebuild their program. He tried it, getting eight of their first 10 new players, he was telling me, and it just didn't work out. The losses piled up last season and this season. Did not look like they were going to be able to turn anything around at the end of this season and make the change. And he told me he's not really quite sure what he wants to do next, but he feels like he has fulfilled his goal of representing his father's name as a head coach.
And Lamar going in a different direction, as you mentioned. Any idea of what kind of direction they might target as a potential replacement?
Not at this juncture. I mean, there's been some chatter down in that part of the country about Tic Price, who is a former head coach who's working with Lamar, but I don't know at this juncture if they've made that decision long term, what they're going to do. It is in the Southland Conference. They've had their moments at that level where they've been successful, and it's a conference where it's sort of cyclical. Different teams are sort of taking turns being at the top. It's kind of hard to sustain it for a long period of time in conferences like that. So we'll have to wait and see what direction they go for a full-time coach, but I'm sure they'll just sort of ride it out with an interim the rest of the season.
Andy Katz, you can check him out on ESPN.com. For more on college basketball news, keep it here on ESPN.com. For ESPN Headlines, I'm Jamie Sire.